Hello friends, in this video we'll discuss another basic concept of Laravel, and that is what is migration and how to use it inside application. So first things first, before working on migrations, first we need to understand that what is a migration. So migration is a class inside Laravel. By the help of that we can create table structure. How to create? So to create these files we'll use the concept of PHP artisan. Let's back to editor. So if we go inside database folder, migrations folder, so we can see that by default when we had installed this setup, it means Laravel setup, these files auto generated and these are migration class files. Let's open any of the file. So I will open this create_users_table.php. Now we can see that it's a class which is extending migration, and inside here we have two methods, that is a up method and a down method. By using this up method we are creating a table structure. And here we can see that we are creating a schema of users table, and inside this users table by the help of table object and their methods we are just assigning the columns and their properties. So in the same pattern we'll create our own migration in this video and we'll create a table inside our database. Let's back to slide. So here what we'll create a students table. And inside that table we need the column as ID, name, email, let's say phone number, gender. So these are the columns we want inside our students table, and this table we will create using migrations concept. Back to project terminal. Here we'll execute artisan command. So first I will type php artisan. If I press enter, then we will see all these commands. Now next we need to go inside make command section, and here we will find a command called make migration. Look at single line description, it create a new migration file. So what I will do, let's clear first php artisan make migration, and then we need to pass our migration class name or migration file name. So let's say that I will pass, let's say create students table. If I press enter, and I think that we did a mistake here. Instead of using make migration we had used make migrate. So let's go and remove and type one more time php artisan make migration and then pass create students table. If I press enter, now we can see that we are getting a migration file inside database and migrations folder. Back to editor, go inside database migrations. Now we'll see a file called create_students_table.php. Let's open that. Now we want to create our table structure for students, and these are the columns we want inside that. So the first column we have called for the ID column. Back to editor. So as we can see table object, and the first line this is auto generated calling a ID method, and this ID method generates an ID column. Now next we need the column as name. So let's define here. So I will use table object and we'll call a string method. String method basically for the data type as varchar, those columns which stores the value in string values. So in those cases we write or use string method. So here as we know that the name column is going to contain string values, so we will use string method. In the second value of this string method we need to pass the type length. It means that how many characters this column actually supports. So let's say that maximum characters will be allowed equals to 120 characters. Now next column we need something called for the email address. So here I will again use table object string method. It's email, and this email column will contain 80 characters. Now the next column we have for the phone number, so it should be table string phone number, and here let's say 20 characters is sufficient, or let's say 25 characters. Now finally we need, let's say gender, table object I will use enum type, and here the column name called gender. After column name, we need to pass our allowed values. It means for this column, we want that 3 values only we can support here. That is, the first value will be something called male, female, and let's say others. Now successfully, in our students table, the columns we will have called ID, name, email, phone number, gender, and this timestamps method will generate 2 default columns, that is created at and updated at. So finally, save all these changes, back to project terminal, and now we'll use PHP artisan make migrate command. By the help of not actually make migrate, it's only migrate. So once we execute migrate command, then it will run all the migrations not yet migrated. So what I will do, if I type PHP artisan only, pressing enter, if we go to the command list, so here we can see all these commands of migrate section. So what I will do, I want simply to migrate our students table and create a table inside our database. PHP artisan migrate. If I press enter, now we can see that all migrations now migrated. Now in this list we can see create students table. This is our own created migration, also migrated. Back to database, go to structure. Now we can see all the tables. Inside this tables list also we can see students. Let's go inside that, click on structure. So here we have the column as ID, name, email, phone number, gender, created at, and updated at. So all these columns what we had specified inside this migration class. So this is by default added method called ID generated this ID column, which is a primary key, unsigned, and auto incremented column. And one more thing, by the help of this timestamps method, it had generated 2 columns called created at and updated at. In some cases, if we don't want these columns inside any of the table, then we have the option inside Laravel by adding public timestamps equals to false inside that respective model. Once we add that line, so in that case, timestamps column, it means those 2 columns will not be generated. So this is all about the concept of migration inside Laravel. So in summary of this video, migration is the class in Laravel. By the help of that we can create table structure. In the next video, we'll discuss some more basic concept of Laravel. So for this video session guys, thank you for watching and have a great day.